Alright, let's talk about Circle Internet Financial. You might not know the name, but you probably know their biggest hit, USDC. That's USD coin, a major stable coin. Now what on earth is a stable coin? Think of it as a crypto token that's supposed to be boringly stable, usually pegged one-to-one with a real-world currency like the good old US dollar. In the wild, wild west of cryptocurrency, where prices can go up and down faster than a politician's principles, USDC acts as an island of relative calm. It's a crucial link, a digital bridge, if you will, between the creaky old world of traditional finance and the shiny, sometimes baffling world of digital assets. Its widespread use for trading, sending money, and in those decentralized finance or DeFi schemes makes Circle a surprisingly powerful entity in this whole crypto circus. It's a big deal, a very big deal. Now Circle, the company behind this digital dollar, finds itself at a bit of a corporate crossroads, a choose-your-own-adventure for billionaires. For a while now, they've been fluttering their eyelashes at the idea of an initial public offering, or IPO. That's when a private company decides to sell shares to the public for the first time, usually to make a boatload of cash. They even officially filed paperwork for an IPO in early April 2025, hiring the big Wall Street kahunas, JP Morgan and Citi, to help them get all dressed up for the stock market ball. Fun fact, this isn't their first rodeo. They tried to go public back in 2021 through something called a SPAC, a special purpose acquisition company, which is basically a blank check company, but that whole endeavor deflated like a sad balloon. So, the IPO path is there, but it's got a few potholes. But wait, there's more, because why stick to one plan when you can have a backup that's arguably more exciting? Alongside these IPO ambitions, Circle is reportedly, and this is the juicy bit, exploring a potential sale of the entire company. We're not talking pocket change here. The rumored asking price is at least a cool $5 billion. Yes, billion with a B. Think of it as Circle looking at the IPO option, then looking at a big check from an established player and thinking, decisions. This isn't just idle gossip from the crypto rumor mill, it suggests Circle's top brass are seriously weighing up their options. Selling could mean a quicker, more certain payday for its investors, and a chance to team up with a larger, more powerful entity, all while sidestepping the nerve-wracking roller coaster of the public markets. So, why would a company like Circle, which issues one of the world's most popular stablecoins, even consider selling instead of bravely marching towards its own IPO? Well, going public is a bit like auditioning for a talent show. You might think you're great, but the judges, in this case the public market investors, can be incredibly fickle. Sure, the IPO market has shown some signs of perking up recently. For instance, the trading platform eToro had a rather successful IPO on May 14, 2025, its stock price leaping nearly 29% on its first day of trading, which is definitely a promising sign for others. However, an acquisition offers a more guaranteed valuation and immediate access to the vast resources and established network of a larger company. It's a fundamental business dilemma. Do you take the independent, potentially more glorious but riskier path of an IPO, or do you merge for what could be greater, more immediate strength and impact? It's a high-stakes game. First up in the potential buyers club is Ripple Labs. You've likely heard of them. They're the folks behind the XRP cryptocurrency and are laser-focused on making cross-border payments faster and cheaper, trying to disrupt the old, slow banking systems. Ripple apparently put in a bid to acquire Circle around April 30, 2025. The offer, according to whispers in the financial corridors, was somewhere in the neighborhood of $4 billion to $5 billion. That's a lot of dough. However, Circle, playing it cool, reportedly turned down this offer, deeming it too low. This tells you that Circle isn't desperate. They believe they're worth top dollar, and they're not afraid to hold out for a better deal. Or perhaps they just enjoy the attention. It's like being the most popular kid at the dance, knowing everyone wants a piece of the action. So if Ripple were to make another, presumably higher offer, how would they stump up the cash? It seems their plan involves a delightful cocktail of actual money, the kind you can hold, and a significant amount of their own cryptocurrency, XRP. This is a rather important detail. Ripple is sitting on a veritable dragon's hoard of XRP. As of March 31, 2025, they reportedly held 4.56 billion XRP, which was valued at around $11.77 billion at the time, just chilling in their digital wallets. And that's not even the half of it. They also have an additional 37.13 billion XRP, worth a mind-boggling $95.7 billion tucked away in escrow accounts. So yes, they have the crypto firepower to make a very, very big splash if they choose to. Using XRP as part of the deal would also be a massive vote of confidence in their own token. Then we have Coinbase, the other big name sniffing around Circle. Coinbase is arguably the most well-known cryptocurrency exchange in the United States, the place many ordinary folks take their first tentative steps into the world of digital currencies. They're a publicly traded company, having made their stock market debut in 2021, and they recently got the ultimate establishment nod by being added to the S&P 500 index on May 19, 2025. That news alone caused their share price to jump by over 25%, which is not too shabby. They've also been in informal talks with Circle about a potential acquisition, so the interest is there, even if it's currently at the just chatting stage. Coinbase is a serious contender with serious resources. Coinbase's strategy for paying for Circle would likely involve a mix of cash, and they've got plenty of that, around $8 billion in reserves and their own company's stock. What makes the Coinbase angle particularly fascinating is that these two companies have a history. They're not exactly strangers who just met at a crypto convention. Coinbase and Circle actually co-founded the Center Consortium back in 2018. That was the organization originally set up to issue and govern USDC. Although the formal terms of that consortium were wound down in 2023, Coinbase didn't just walk away empty-handed. They wisely secured an equity stake in Circle and currently enjoy a share of the revenue generated from the interest on USDC's reserves. So there's already a significant financial entanglement and a shared past, making a full merger a somewhat logical next step. Now, imagine for a moment that Ripple successfully woos Circle and they tie the knot. What would that mean, particularly for Ripple's own XRP? Well, it could be absolutely massive. A moonshot, as the crypto enthusiasts love to say. Integrating USDC, a leading dollar-pegged stablecoin, directly into Ripple's existing ecosystem would be like strapping a rocket engine to their already ambitious plans for revolutionizing payments. Think about Ripple's on-demand liquidity (ODL) service, which uses XRP to facilitate fast international money transfers. Now picture that service enhanced with the stability and broad acceptance of USDC. This could dramatically boost XRP's utility, making it far more appealing to cautious banks and large financial institutions that are looking for efficient and reliable ways to move money across borders without the usual crypto volatility. It could be the key to unlocking serious mainstream adoption for XRP. This potential Circle acquisition doesn't exist in a strategic vacuum for Ripple. They've been busy making other significant moves that paint a picture of a company on a mission. Not too long ago, Ripple launched its very own stablecoin, creatively named RLUSD. Now you might think, wait, wouldn't that compete with USDC? And yes, on the surface it might seem that way. However, in the grander scheme of things, RLUSD could be complementary within a broader financial services offering, or it could be a strategic hedge. Furthermore, Ripple also recently splashed out $1.25 billion to acquire Hidden Road, a prime brokerage firm. These actions, taken together, suggest Ripple is aggressively building out a comprehensive suite of financial tools and services. Acquiring Circle and thus USDC would undoubtedly be the glittering crown jewel in this expanding empire, solidifying their position as a major force in both crypto and future financial infrastructure. What about Coinbase? If they were to acquire Circle, it would feel less like a hostile takeover and more like bringing a very close business partner fully under their corporate roof. Remember, Coinbase already has an equity stake in Circle and shares in the revenue generated from USDC's reserves. A full acquisition would consolidate their control over USDC, streamline decision-making, and ensure all future profits from the stablecoin flow directly into Coinbase's coffers. Coinbase also currently holds certain rights over Circle's operations, including aspects like third-party partnerships and even intellectual property if Circle were to face insolvency. Taking over Circle completely would simplify everything, further entrenching Coinbase's stablecoin strategy and giving them an even more formidable position against their competitors in the rapidly evolving digital asset landscape. It's about strengthening their foundations. And Coinbase certainly has the financial clout to make such a deal happen. With a comfortable $8 billion in cash reserves and the proven ability to raise additional capital through debt or stock offerings if needed, a multi-billion-dollar price tag for Circle is well within their reach. They've also demonstrated an appetite for large-scale acquisitions recently, having purchased the crypto derivatives platform Deribit for a reported $2.9 billion. While Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong has publicly expressed his admiration for Circle and its success with USDC, he has remained characteristically tight-lipped about any specific acquisition plans. However, from a strategic standpoint, buying Circle would be a highly logical move for Coinbase, further cementing its dominance in the US crypto market and significantly expanding its influence in the critical global stablecoin sector. Let's not forget the ever-present influence of politics on the world of finance, and crypto is no exception. Interestingly, former US President Donald Trump has recently emerged as a rather vocal supporter of cryptocurrency. He's made public statements to the effect that crypto is the future and has advocated for creating a more favorable regulatory environment for digital assets in the United States. Now, regardless of your personal political leanings, such endorsements from a major political figure can lend a certain degree of mainstream legitimacy to the crypto sector. It might also signal a potential easing of the regulatory pressures that have often cast a shadow over crypto companies. This kind of shift in the political winds could make significant corporate maneuvers, like Circle's potential sale or its IPO aspirations, seem less risky and more attractive to all parties involved. A friendly face in Washington can make a big difference. Despite all this swirling speculation about a sale, Circle's official public stance is that it is not for sale. They maintain that their primary focus remains firmly on their plans to go public via an IPO. As we discussed, the IPO market has shown some encouraging signs of recovery lately. The successful stock market debut of eToro, with its share price jumping significantly on its first day, is a positive omen. Furthermore, the crypto analytics firm Bitwise has even predicted that 2025 will be a noteworthy year for crypto-related IPOs, with other prominent companies like the crypto exchange Gemini and Kraken also reportedly mulling over the possibility of going public in 2025 or early 2026. So it's entirely plausible that Circle genuinely believes that the timing might finally be right to pursue the IPO route once again, hoping to capitalize on renewed investor interest. The current conditions in the broader cryptocurrency market also add another layer to Circle's decision-making process. As of today, May 20th, 2025, Bitcoin is trading at a robust $105,976.23, tantalizingly close to its all-time high. Other major cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, XRP, and Solana have also posted significant gains over the past month, indicating a strong, bullish sentiment among investors. Even the traditional stock market is performing well, with the S&P 500 index having climbed by 15.6% in the last month alone. These positive market signals could certainly encourage Circle to proceed with an IPO, aiming to ride this wave of optimism. Alternatively, these same buoyant conditions could make Circle an even more attractive acquisition target, potentially commanding an even higher sale price from eager suitors. It's a good problem to have, as they say. So, what's the final word in this high-stakes financial drama? Circle finds itself in an enviably strong position, holding the reins of USDC, one of the most valuable and widely used assets in the entire digital currency ecosystem. Whether they ultimately choose the path of an initial public offering, perhaps buoyed by a recovering market and potentially more favorable political tailwinds, or decide to opt for a headline-grabbing sale to an industry titan like Ripple or Coinbase, their decision will undoubtedly send significant shockwaves, or, if you'll pardon the pun, ripples, throughout the global crypto industry. For Ripple, acquiring Circle could fundamentally redefine XRP's role and utility. For Coinbase, it would be a strategic masterstroke, cementing its market leadership. And for Circle itself, it's about choosing the optimal path towards future growth, stability, and continued success in a rapidly changing world. The coming months promise to be absolutely fascinating to watch. Grab your popcorn.